Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. I hope everyone's had a great week. I've had a busy week, but it's been a good week. I've gotten into my craft rooms and done some straightening up and reorganizing. I've got most of the things out of my clay room now, most of my paper uh, crafting stuff out of the clay room. So now I'm in the process of spreading out some of my clay stuff. I've emptied one a tower of drawers that really didn't function well with me anyway, or for me anyway, because it's the ones that have the colored drawers, like you'll have two reds and two greens and two purples and two blues and stuff like that. And it's great for lightweight things, but when I was trying to put clay in it, it just didn't work. It was so much weight that the drawers would pull out of the track that they were in. So I was using them for rubber stamps. And I've moved my rubber stamps into another type of drawer that I emptied because it was full of paper stuff. So I've done away with that one, the one tower. I may end up using it in my paper room. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet. I've still got, excuse me, I've still got such a mess in the paper room because it's a lot of stuff just kind of dumped on the desk because I have to find a place for it. So, I'm in the process. What I can't wait to do is to get to my actual work surface where I can spread things out and not have such a cramped space. I know, I get comments from people talking about my clutter and going out of frame and stuff like that. And it's mainly because my craft space is so tiny that it's just hard, but if I can get rid of all the clutter around me, I'm going to move my Lucy slicer to the top of one of the tower of drawers. I'm going to move that so that won't be on my work surface anymore, and that'll free up a lot of space. It's a wonderful, awesome slicer. If any of you have any issues slicing thin slices of clay or even slices of clay, it is awesome. It's worth every penny that you put into it. But unless you use it a lot, it is kind of pricey. But I got that years ago when I had money, and which is not the case now. But that's not the purpose of this video. But I'm getting there, so maybe within I'm giving myself a deadline of maybe the end of February. It's going to be my Valentine's gift to me to have both rooms finished and reorganized. And maybe I've already done my before video, so I'm going to be adding my after video to the end of that, so it'll all be in one. And so that's going to be fun. But it's a process, and I think I said this last week. You go through a spell where you have to make a bigger mess in order to organize it, and I'm sort of in that phase now. But one thing I've decided to use my drawer tower that I'm not going to use anymore is I put that over towards the door to my craft room. And I'm going to use that to sort my destashes. I told you I was going to be doing grab bags. And the main problem with doing that is having the space to sort stuff out. So I've decided I'm just going to sort. Each drawer will be a different grab bag. And I'll just sort stuff into those drawers. And then I can put it in an envelope and that'll be it. So maybe I'll get to take pictures of each drawer. I don't know how that's going to work yet because I haven't put my stuff in there yet. But stay tuned. It's going to be a wide variety of things. It's going to be some stickers, some stamps that could be used for clay or rubber stamping. It's going to be some beads. It's going to be some things that I've made. Some unfinished things that I've made, things that I would make in a tutorial and I just never finished it. They just go into this box. So I have that box full of things. I thought I would just spread those out. Some beads I may have made in the past. And, oh, that's one of those robocalls. I can tell, I don't know if you get them or not, but they start off with, like my phone number starts with 728. And I get these phone calls that come through with the area code 728 and then 4 other numbers. And I'm assuming they're thinking I'll answer it because it looks like a familiar number. But it's not. It's just a robocall. And I do use Nomo Robo, but some of these, because they're not coming from the same number all the time, they're finding it difficult to find them, to block them. So whenever I see one, I figure if it's somebody that really needs to get in touch with me, they'll leave me a message, and then I'll call them back. But how nervy of them to interrupt my Friday Frolics video. But, things have been going smoothly. I went to exercise. Actually, I only went twice this week. I usually go 3 times. But the second day that I exercised, I had a doctor's appointment. And, I haven't gotten the results of my blood work, but everything else looked great. So my blood pressure was good. Everything was good. So that was good news to have. But, health-wise, right now I'm okay. Of course, we all know that could change in a split second. You can have a stroke, you can fall, you can, have an accident, an automobile accident. There's so many things that could change that. But for right now, I seem to be fairly healthy. Let's see. I did do a video for Monday. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And it's got so many possibilities. It's not a finished project. It's more of a how to do something. And even though I'll tell you it has to do with Celtic knots. And the one that I did is very simple, but you can use the same principle on more complicated ones once you learn the principle. So, I hope you enjoy that. It was a lot of fun to do. And let's see. It's getting to be towards the end of the month. Oh, I have a RG360 studio class tomorrow called So Loved. And I've got the kit. Let me show you. That's another one of those calls. This even has a name on it, but it's nobody I know. I ought to keep my phone right here where I don't have to reach for it. But this is how your kit comes if you ever decide to order from RG360. And you can see it's packaged really nice. It's got bubble wrap. This is a little container of gesso because we're going to be using gesso to coat our card bases. And this is his new foil glue. If you've ever wanted to work with foils, and you can use foils on polymer clay too, but you would only use the glue if you're going to be using it on paper. But anyway, he sent us a pretty large sample of his foil glue. And let's see what else is in here. Everything else is in this Ziploc bag. Now, I got this by email, the file, so I've already printed and colored this, but these are his, I'm trying to see which one is in the video. It's so hard because it's backwards. This is one of the So Loved, and just look at all those things to color. Isn't that pretty? And then this. They're about the same images, like you can see here on this one. This image and these two images, well, let me see which way am I going. This image and this image is the same. They're just different sizes. And here's a third size on this piece of paper right here. So some of them are multiples of the same image, but just in different sizes. But you cut these out, and these are going to be used. We're going to do 4 cards. And let's see how I haven't looked in here. This is the foil that we're going to use. He sent us a sheet of foil. And then we've got all the embellishments. We've got some twine, some, I want to call them sparkle cuts, but they're some kind of glitter, a thick glitter. And then these are pearls and a paper clip. Yeah, just pearls. Sometimes we get rhinestones. And then, whoa. Let's see what we've got here. This is our extra. This is a 4x6 canvas. And this was a bonus. We get the 4 cards plus this bonus. So we're going to be working on this. So that comes in the kit. And this is one of our card kits. This has some, let me see what this is. Pink paper. And some ribbon. There's something underneath it. I don't know what it is. Oh, it's just another card base. But there's some netting. You know, some netting here and ribbon. So that's going to be one card. And this is going to be a card. This has got some yellowish paper back behind there that we'll probably use on that card. And this one has green and the white. So we'll be using that on a card. And this one has pink and white and a piece of ribbon. So that's another card that we're going to be doing. So it's really fun. And you can see he sent you everything you need. I know this is an RG360 commercial again. But they're so much fun. And this kit, if you buy them individually, he's got a card club that starts. You can start signing up for that tonight. But the card club, you'll get one kit per month, and you can buy them a la carte, which is every month, for $49.99 for the kit, plus shipping. But if you sign up for 3 months, you get 15% off. And if you sign up for 6 months of the club, you get 25% off. So I'm going to be doing the 25% off. And I think I wrote it down, what it was going to be costing me. So with my 25% discount, it's $37.50 a month. And I'll get at least 4 cards to make. So you can't beat that, you know, with all the supplies. All I need to do is supply the inks and the adhesives, and we're set. Plus, we get Richard for 4 hours tomorrow. That's always fun. So, that's one thing I wanted to mention. If any of you have an Instagram account, I would really appreciate it if you would go into the RG360 on Instagram. And it's all one word, RG360 is all, all together. And just follow the page. He's at about 600 follows right now. If he gets up to 1,000, he's going to send us a free download. So I'm just, I've been following him, but I just wanted more people to follow so we could get the free download, because it's called Making Waves. And what happened is he had originally intended to start all of his clubs this month. And now he's decided to start the Card Club in January, the Mixed Media Club in February, and the Planner Club in March. And in doing that, he's ended up with an extra download because he was going to do the same theme per month. And I forgot what ours is called. This is the So Loved, but the first card kit is going to be it's something to do with ocean. It's mermaids and seahorses and everything. But he also designed and created a download for the mixed media that was going to be in the same theme, and that one was called Making Waves. Well, now that he's not opening that this month, it won't be till next month, he will give away that download if he reaches 1,000 follows on Instagram. So if you're, I really truly believe this is going to be the way of the future in stamping and card making. I know one of the things that limits me, and my mind just takes off, but I don't have the right stamp. And so, I don't have the stamp, so then I've got to order a stamp and wait for it to come in, and by then the inspiration is usually gone. And I have a lot of stamps that I've never used because there was something I wanted to use, but by the time I got them, the idea was gone. And with digital art, you get the same thing as if I stamped a picture in black ink on white cardstock, I would get one of these digital download images. But if I don't use it, it's a file on my computer. It's not a rubber stamp that I've bought and it's going to sit there forever. And he gives away a free download every month. And so, I've gotten them before. If any of you are interested, please let me know and I'll send you the ones that I've got. And then you'll be signed up and you'll get his free ones at the first of every month. But I think this is the way of the future. I think rubber stamping is going to kind of dwindle and digital imaging is going to just blow up. And Richard is getting in at the very beginning. I don't even think he realizes yet that this is going to be the way of paper crafting. So that's going to be interesting and fun. Enough about Richard. I know sometimes I go on and on about him, but I can't help it. I love him for the man that he is and for the inspiration he gives me. And he's just amazing. One thing I did want to address, and only because I've run into this twice in the last 2 months, once each month, and this has to do with Patreon. People have signed up as a contributor or, someone that donates to my Patreon fund, which helps keep me in the polymer clay business. It's what I use to buy clay or to buy new things. I've got something new coming. I can't wait to show you, but I'll wait till it's here before I show you what it is. But it's going to be so awesome. But that's what I use this Patreon money for. And it's also to help support me so that I don't have to go out and get a job in order to support myself. And I do pretty well. I've got a pension, very small, but I have a pension. I have Social Security. But those of you that live on Social Security know there's no way you can live on it. My Social Security covers my house payment. So I'm pretty much living off of my pension and the money that my daughter gives me because we share this house and she shares the expenses. So I live off of that, and that sometimes it doesn't go very far after you've paid all your bills. But so I really appreciate the people that contribute to me on Patreon. But when you first sign up, it's a little confusing because I've had people that signed up, and I'm going to give you just an example. Say someone signed up on January the 8th. Now I'm just picking a number out of the blue. And they may be expecting their reward video in January. But what they don't understand is they sign up in January, but they're not charged. They don't actually contribute any money until the 1st of February. So they will be getting February's Patreon reward video. And that's because they only pay out once a month. They pay me, they charge you on the 1st of every month, and then I get their money out, once they take their fees. I get the rest about the 7th or 8th of the month. So after I get that, then I can see who contributed for February, and I send them the reward video. Now the problem is, when you sign up in January, especially if it's early in the month and you expect to get something in January, then you don't get it. I've had them cancel their subscription by the end, at the end of the month. And I know it's because they expected a reward and they didn't get it. So I just want everybody to understand how Patreon works. whenever you sign up, even if you signed up on the 1st. If you sign up on the 1st, it's too late because they've already done their charges on the 1st. Probably like at midnight, whatever time zone they're in. So even if you signed up on the 1st of the month, you still won't pay any money or get any reward until the next month. So please, the two people that withdrew theirs, one came back because she didn't understand how it worked. I contacted her and she said, actually with her, she said I hadn't commented on Patreon lately, so she was afraid I wasn't doing it anymore, but she ended up coming back, so I really appreciated that. But the other one never has, I've reached out to her and she's never responded, so, I'm sure her feelings were hurt or something because she thought she was contributing money and didn't get anything for it. But, and for those of you that don't even understand what I'm talking about, my Patreon account, if you contribute more than $10 or more per month, you get a free tutorial from me. And it's usually a little more complicated, a little bit longer than the tutorials that I offer for free on Mondays. And so that's what I'm talking about. So I just want everybody to understand and not get upset if they think they've contributed and didn't get anything for it, because you actually won't do your contribution until the 1st of the next month. So I hope I just haven't confused everybody, but I gain people every month and I lose people every month. And I know everybody's financial situation changes. I know mine changes. This past month was really, or not, the one we're in now is really, really hard on me. But I got my Social Security Wednesday, so that helped. But I couldn't even go to the grocery store. I needed things for the from the grocery store, and I couldn't even go because I had to wait till Wednesday. When I got my Social Security, then I get my pension on the 1st, which will be next week, and that'll pay my house payment. And it just, it's tough. When you get to be retired, it's really tough. And if I weren't a single person, if I had a husband who also had an income and also could contribute to the expenses, it wouldn't be so hard. But when you're living by yourself, and I say that because my daughter's hardly ever here, but it's hard when you have to deal with all these things by yourself. And I think most of you out there, or not most of you, but some of you out there probably are in the same situation. And you understand how hard it is. And I don't expect you to contribute or to donate to help me when you're struggling yourself. Keep your money for yourself. But there are people that have the capability to donate and to help fund my situation so that I can continue to not have a job and sit and do polymer clay videos. So anyway, enough about that. I really can't think of anything else. I was thinking I mentioned tomorrow. I mentioned Patreon. I made my video from Monday, which is going to be fun. I'll probably think of 10 things I wish I had mentioned. I used to make a list, but then I got to where I never looked at my list, so I stopped making it. But I really need to start making a list and sticking to it so that I remember to tell you everything. But hope by the time I see you, it'll be February. Next Friday will be in February. So I hope you have a great week. Come back on Monday for my polymer clay tutorial, and I'll see you next Friday for more Friday Frolics. Bye-bye.